You've met someone new. Everything seems perfect at first, but somewhere deep inside, something feels off. You can't explain it. You have no proof. Your rational mind says everything is fine, but your body says otherwise. Maybe your stomach tightens when they text. Maybe you feel exhausted after spending time with them. Maybe there's a voice, quiet, almost hidden, telling you to be careful, and you ignore it. You tell yourself you're being paranoid. You make excuses. You rationalize. You stay. Then, months or years later, the truth comes out. The manipulation, the lies, the damage. And you think back to that feeling, the one you ignored, and you realize your brain knew all along. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Your conscious mind is the last to know what your subconscious already figured out. You see, your brain is a pattern recognition machine. It has been scanning people and situations since you were born. It stores every interaction, every betrayal, every red flag, every moment you felt unsafe, even when you don't consciously remember them. So when you meet someone new, your brain doesn't start from zero. It compares this person to every pattern it has ever recorded. And if something matches a dangerous template, it sends you a signal. The problem is, that signal doesn't arrive as words. It arrives as a feeling, a tightness in your chest, a desire to leave the room, an unexplainable unease, a gut feeling you can't justify. Your conscious mind, on the other hand, is desperate for proof. It wants evidence. It wants logic. It says things like, they haven't done anything wrong, or I'm just overthinking, or I don't have a reason to feel this way. But your gut doesn't need a reason. It has 1,000 tiny reasons you forgot you stored. This is called implicit memory. Memories your brain records, but you never consciously experience. You can't recall the specific moment when you learned that raised voices feel dangerous. You can't remember the exact day you realize certain tones of voice means someone is about to attack. But your body remembers, and when it recognizes those patterns again, it reacts, before you even understand why. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people don't trust their gut feelings. They wait for proof. They look for red flags they can see, catching someone in a lie, witnessing abusive behavior, receiving explicit evidence of betrayal. But by the time the proof arrives, the damage is usually already done. This is what psychologists call the sleeper effect of toxic relationships. The harm doesn't show up all at once. It builds slowly. Small boundary violations, subtle put-downs, microaggressions disguised as jokes, disproportionate reactions to small mistakes, moments where you feel small but can't explain why. Each individual moment seems harmless. Maybe you're being too sensitive. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe you misread the situation. But your body doesn't lie. It feels the cumulative weight of every small violation. It knows the pattern, and it tries to protect you by sending warnings you keep dismissing. This is why so many people say, I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Your finger never needed to be on it. Your body was already sounding the alarm. Now, let me explain why this is so hard to accept. We live in a culture that values logic above intuition. We praise rational thinking. We call feelings irrational as if that's a bad thing. We train ourselves to distrust the one system that has been protecting us since childhood. And on top of that, toxic people are experts at making you doubt yourself. That's part of their playbook. They question your memory. They twist your perceptions. They make you feel like the problem. So by the time you're in deep, you don't trust your own instincts anymore. You've been told so many times that you're wrong. You start to believe it. So how do you reclaim this ability? How do you learn to trust what your body is telling you? First, you have to stop requiring proof before you trust yourself. Your gut feeling is not evidence in the way a court requires evidence, but it is data. It is your brain processing information faster than your conscious mind can analyze. It's pattern recognition at its finest. And when you constantly override it, you weaken the connection. Second, pay attention to physical sensations without immediately trying to explain them. When you feel tightness in your stomach around someone, don't immediately ask why and try to find a logical reason. Just notice, just observe. The feeling is the message. You don't need to translate it into words to know it's real. Third, track patterns over time instead of individual moments. One strange feeling might be nothing, but if you keep a quiet record, not to obsess, just to observe, patterns will emerge. You might notice that you consistently feel worse after certain interactions. You might realize your body braces every time a specific person walks into the room. That's not coincidence, that's data. Fourth, and this is the hardest one, learn to sit with the discomfort of trusting yourself before you have proof. It's scary. You might be wrong. You might hurt someone's feelings. You might look paranoid or overly cautious. But the cost of ignoring your instincts is almost always higher than the cost of paying attention to them. Here's what I want you to understand. Your brain is not your enemy. Your body is not your enemy. The part of you that feels something is off before you can explain why, that's the part that's been keeping you alive. That's the part that survived every dangerous situation you've ever encountered. Your job is not to silence it. Your job is to learn its language. Because here's the uncomfortable truth most people never accept. The reason you keep ending up in toxic patterns is not that you're unlucky or broken or attract the wrong people. It's that you learn to ignore the part of yourself that could have warned you. You were taught to second-guess your own perceptions. You were trained to wait for outside permission to protect yourself. And toxic people count on that. They know you'll question yourself. They know you'll look for proof they won't give you. They know you'll stay longer than you should because you keep asking, is this really that bad? Your gut already knows the answer. The question is whether you'll finally listen. So the next time you feel that tightness, that unease, that whisper, don't push it away. Don't rationalize it. Don't wait for permission from the outside world to validate what you already feel inside. Your subconscious has been collecting data your whole life. It's been watching. It's been learning. It's been trying to keep you safe. The only thing that's been missing is your willingness to trust it. Start now. Trust the feeling before it becomes a story you have to learn the hard way. Trust the feeling before proof arrives in a form you can't unsee. Trust the feeling because your body has never lied to you. Your brain knows someone is toxic before your heart accepts it. Listen.